Hello, my beautiful reader friends. It's Tiffany with an IE, as you can see. Welcome back to my channel, and today I will be doing the spoiler tag, which was created by Gunpowder Fiction and Plot. I will leave their original video down in the description down below, and all the books that I mentioned will also be in the description. So I was tagged by Shannon in a book to do this, and I'll leave her channel in my description as well. And yeah, let's just get started with all these questions. While I was watching Shannon's video, I had a bunch of anxiety about how I'd answer these questions, but I think I might actually be okay. But let's see if I end up having an existential crisis while answering these questions as well. So, question one, what do you consider a spoiler? I would say things that are like shocking plot points or reveals that you otherwise wouldn't know until you get to like the middle or like near the end of the book. Yeah, you would have to read a good portion of the book to find out about that. Also, any like character deaths, especially if they are beloved characters, or yeah, but just especially, well, yeah, characters that you've grown to love or that you've gone through the book or the book series with, and then they die in some either horrible way or they sacrifice themselves so that the main character can carry on with the quest or whatever it is. Not just like a character that just appears at the beginning and dies. That's not really what I mean by character death. And then also for like books like mystery books where there's usually a killer, if someone were to tell me like who the murderer is before I've even like started the book, that would be a major spoiler. So, question two, does the genre you're reading impact what you consider to be a spoiler? Probably. I guess like I agree with Shannon about this, that nonfiction doesn't really have spoilers, but I guess it would kind of depend. Like if you're reading like a self-help or psychology book, like not really, but maybe something that's kind of more like a personal like story of like someone's account about something. Like for example, the other day I accidentally was in this virtual book chat for Educated by Tara Westover, and I didn't realize that like one, it would be like spoilery because people had read the book and I had not, and two, that the author was not going to be there, because the actual like virtual event where Tara would be there to give a talk and then answer questions from the audience was a different day, and I was like, oh, I registered for the wrong event. So yeah, I left the Zoom. So but yeah, so I guess something like that, like, her story about how she grew up in her survivalist family and stuff, that would be a bit spoilery. So yeah, I think it really depends on the type of nonfiction. As for fiction, like, anything goes. So yeah, lots of spoilers in fiction. Number three, all the best bits are in the trailer. Sometimes the synopsis can be too detailed. Do you research books prior to reading them, or do you go in without knowing anything? So the ending of this question I altered a little bit because the original question was kind of phrased in a way that would be, I guess, offensive to the deaf culture community, and yeah, so I just wanted to refrain from that. Not exactly like deaf, blind, and community with those sorts of disabilities and stuff. But yeah, anyway, so I rephrased the ending of the question. And my answer to this would be kind of like a bit of both. It really depends on the book. A lot of time I do read the synopsis on the flap or the back of the book before I go in. But sometimes when I'm like on a deadline and I need to read the book in one night because I have book club the next day or something, then I don't bother to read the synopsis until after I'm done with the book. Yeah, and then sometimes the synopsis does give away too much. So It just really depends. Number 4. Sometimes the introduction or translator's notes can spoil the ending, especially for classics. Has this ever happened to you? Um, yes and no, I guess. Like, again, it kind of like really depends. I mean, for classics, like I've read all of Shakespeare's works and stuff, so a lot of the beginning, like intro, and not really translator notes, but yeah, definitely more for something like the Odyssey or the Iliad where there's translator notes. Yeah, it could be a bit spoilery. With the introduction, I know with Shakespeare plays, it definitely has like certain lines and stuff. And yeah, definitely if you haven't read the play before, don't read the introduction until after you've read the play. And then question 5, name a time somebody spoiled a novel for you. Okay, so one of my cousins, she lives in Texas. Um, she saw that I was reading a book by April Lynn Pike, and she was like, "Oh, that author." And she mentioned that she had read the Wings Quartet, and I'm like, "Oh, I've only read the first one." And then she's like, "Oh man, the ending of the series," and I was just like, well, was it good or bad? And she's like, do you want me to tell you? And I was like, well, not like too much, but just if it was good or bad. And then she ended up spoiling it for me, so I still haven't finished that series because I still remember what she said. And it's kind of sad. I'm just like, oh, that one also has a love triangle, and I prefer one boy over the other, so yeah. Anyways, um, question 6, have you ever spoiled a novel for somebody else? Yes, unfortunately. This was when I was younger and not really thinking. But in middle school, so like 8th grade, I remember someone in my yearbook class was reading um she was reading the 5th Harry Potter book, I think. And I spoiled the character death for books 5, 6, and 7 for her. I was just like, I just wanted her to be done so we could talk about it, but it was kind of like she had just started that book, so it would have taken her a while to finish anyway. But yeah, that was bad on me. um, Number 7. If spoilers ruin novels, are there some authors or genres you can't reread? Um, I'm not really sure. I mean, I don't really often reread books, and right now it's just that I've gotten spoiled. Like my main issue is that I've been spoiled for like the Wings Quartet, so I haven't finished that yet, and some books I get spoiled before I start them, so I haven't started them yet. I'm like, oh, maybe once I forget the spoilers, then I can go read them. But my memory has been like, oh, you still remember all those spoilers? Well, you can't read it. So, yeah, that's kind of a problem about having a good memory. Number 8, when reviewing, are you spoiler free? Does this limit your ability to discuss? So far, yes, I've only had spoiler free reviews on my channel when I do my wrap ups, and also my reviews that do say like spoiler free review, because those are for like different book blog tours and stuff, and so they're required to be spoiler free. But yeah, I mean, I try to be vague but also like concise, so it is kind of hard. But I was thinking of doing some spoiler filled, maybe like vlogs or reviews. But I would definitely say like, preface it by saying that it would be filled with spoilers. So yeah, I mean, I'm up to trying that, but for now I only have spoiler-free reviews on my channel. And number 9, shout out. Tell us about 5 channels you enjoy and then tag them. And in my classic OCD fashion if you're not new here. If you've been here for a while, you know that I don't like odd numbers, especially the number 5, so I'm going to tag 6 channels and tell you about them. So first, I'm going to tag Misa from Books and Sushi. She's just so wholesome and wonderful. I love her videos and just like her lifestyle, and she has 7 cats, and she's just like really sweet, and she has such a different taste in books, and her thumbnail aesthetics are really nice as well. So yeah, I love her channel. And she just also recently tagged me in to do a tag, so I'm tagging her back with this tag. And then I would also tag Meg with Books because I love her channel, although she's at like 11K subscribers now, so I don't know if she'll see this, but if you do, you should do this tag because you've been saying you want to do more tags. I've watched all her videos, so I know. And then David's book reviews is the next person I'd tag because David has been a staunch supporter of my channel. Thank you so much, David. You're awesome. He even did a dedicated birthday video for me on my birthday. He reviewed The Starless Sea, which I had requested, and yeah, it was really sweet. Lady Jane Books, next person I would tag. She's just really fun and funny, and just, yeah, she's super cool. So definitely check out her videos as well. And then the next person is Josie from Frogs and Fiction. She and I are just really cool, and yeah, and she's really funny and sassy as well. Like, is more dry humor, but yeah, I enjoy her videos as well. And the last person that I'm tagging is JG, and yeah, her videos are pretty fun as well. And she kind of does this thing in some of her videos where she'll like speed up her audio so then it sounds like she's talking at chipmunk speed. And yeah, and she also created this tag called the birthstone tag, which I will link in the cards because I also did this tag. Yeah, it was a fun tag. So yeah, that is the entire spoiler tag. Hope you enjoyed it. It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, but yeah. So thanks, Shannon, for tagging me, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!